So we in the class or in the fourth grade here at our school, we have three different teachers. They are departmentalized. And Mr. Adams, he is the science and social studies teacher. He is also the homeroom teacher for the class that we're having some of the most significant like routine procedures and just behaviors overall. It's the classroom we're struggling the most in, him included. Um, and the teachers have expressed concerns to they had expressed concerns to me previously, and we're like, we want to figure out a way to help like ease the anxiety of walking into that room, because after Mr. Adams teaches his homeroom in the morning, first thing he teaches them science and social studies. After an hour, Mr. Marco comes in and teaches math. um, as they rotate through they rotate through the three classrooms. And then after an hour of math, they receive an hour of ELA with Miss May. So what we've asked the teachers to do is we've asked them to take a 10 to 15-minute video to get an understanding of what the class looks like when they're in there, what they're able to do. And they've basically they were able to express their concerns to me, while also me saying let's try to problem solve this. So what we've done is we've taken a team approach. We created a huddle where we've been capturing videos, and they've been receiving feedback and discussing during we met for meeting A, meeting B, as a normal coaching cycle would be met with, but we do it as a whole team instead. Actually, the team meetings have now begun to include the grade level TA, who does a lot of the behavior check-ins, phone calls with the families. He's started to join the team meetings as well for those. And then with Tammy's help and support, I was able to download the transcriptions and the AI reports for two different teachers' classrooms, or two different teachers' videos. I downloaded them and saved them to my computer, and then I was able to go into the third teacher's video, and I was able to upload them into AI Insights as a using this beautiful blue plus sign. And they became related. I uploaded those transcripts and the AI reports to as they became related artifacts.
Okay.
Oh goodness, you're gonna see if I can spell now.
Nope. Happens to me all the time. And you know what? The AI won't discriminate against that. It'll know what you mean.
Thank goodness, because I'm gonna mess this up. I'm sure of it.
As we've talked about, like the power of this is to re-engineer the prompt so that we are really getting what we want from the AI insights. And so if we start first with where there are the consistencies, we've got that summary there. And I think there are some things that you can definitely celebrate here, where that structure is there. They're preparing the students for, and see that summary statement at the bottom. This is where I think you have an opportunity to really compliment your teachers on what is demonstrated across these three videos. And then to your question, what is it that you want to, this is a lot of information. So what is it that you want the AI insights to really zero in on?
So when we met and we established our landed goal, the landed goal was really to emphasize participation was the big one, which we're seeing that teachers are actively trying to get students participation, which is great. So we had talked about the stronger the engagement and the stronger the student participation, then the lower the behaviors of the disengagement will be, which in turn could end up leading to less behavior specific feedback. But we do need to, while we're working towards that stronger engagement, we also wanted to make sure we used behavior specific feedback to prompt students. So when when we're having a hard time for some reason with something, we wanted to make sure that they're using that behavior specific feedback to get students back to where they were.
So what's the question that you would like to ask that will help sort of steer you in that direction?
I think maybe asking I'm trying to think here. What is an area like potential opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm.
would we say something along the lines of related to,
What you described is really, I liked your analogy of the like jumping on the train. And the more consistency that there is, the easier it is for students to know what those expectations are. So I'm wondering, based on what you shared, if that potential opportunity related to even stronger consistency
right?
support student engagement is what, or student participation is the way that you phrase that. What have the teachers been saying about what they're noticing by their use of the behavior specific feedback? Are they seeing an impact of that?
So they do see that the majority of the class will kind of, follow suit. Especially when they use positive. They know that they know that positive feedback is easier to give, or that it's easier to like follow along with, but it's harder to give because of the fact that they're so like almost like heavily emphasizing like don't do that. Because of the fact that they do have some pretty big outliers in their class. They might say like this is what you were doing and this is what the expected behavior is and I need you to fix that. I make sure I'm modeling that the best I can. Because I generally am going in for not the positive behavior. I go in as the assistant principal with,
Yeah.
let's clean this up. And so I try to make sure that I am very specific in what I'm saying to students because especially if I'm saying it to the whole class, I want them all to hear like this is what's expected, like these are the behaviors we want to see, this is what we saw. And um, so they're seeing improvement in Mr. Adams' homeroom, which is super exciting.
So
But
what I hear you saying is they are beginning to recognize perhaps that the strategy of using behavior specific feedback is not just really essential for one group of students, but there is benefit for all.
yeah,
And the beautiful thing about behavior specific feedback is it can be both on the social behaviors that you want to see as well as academic behaviors. And an area I heard you describe that you have some outliers, if they're using behavior specific feedback with the whole group, maybe they're looking for those, even the tiniest little way that they can acknowledge a student who is, less likely to participate by, elevating them and recognizing that as they go. And I can't wait to hear, as you go back to your fourth grade team, sharing what you were able um, to get here. It'll be saved in your history so you can go back to it. And will they want to dig a little bit deeper so that they can really mine out what's going to be the most meaningful for them so that they can continue this positive trajectory that they have begun to experience?